Hello, everybody. And as we have learned over the past few days with different podcasts, that your store page and your trailer on your store page overall is arguably the most important thing when it comes to marketing your game. S- oh yeah, yep, and enjoying it for both of us. Yeah, this thumbnail just speaks of all generic. I mean, like really it says nothing about the game. It says money, which would lead you to think that it's stock market the game, or Bitcoin the game, or loot box the game, anything but what this game is. Yeah, I mean the text stands out, but that's all it's got. Yeah, I mean that thumbnail is almost anti-marketing. I mean you could D minus, and the text is readable. That's, I mean, this is like you could leave the text and get rid of everything else, and you can, basically start over. This it just doesn't fit the game. It doesn't fit. It doesn't look good. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, let's go with the first trailer, which you have this implosion of unreadable font, and then another font with, yeah, it's not readable. And I don't know what even's going on in the game, because we learned the other day that when it comes text over images, text wins. And here's another text. I think that's a new font, and it's definitely a new color. It's glowing now, and it has a weird transition. Yeah, and another text and font done completely differently. And did you notice that green text over there just for a second? I don't even know what that was. Yeah, and you gotta love this text over text here. It's like, which text do I look at? And you got the white over white, and then it turns black, and then now you got these 3D fonts that are coming out, and Star Warsing their selves into my face, and now you got a neon font, and oh my god, I, if I didn't already know what the game was, I wouldn't have known anything from that trailer, because besides, Tech Simulator 2019, 2021. Yeah, and all of all of the fonts were different, and it was giving me overload, and Yeah. Oh, wait, there was a trailer? All I see was text. And we have another spinny text, and now we have a different text down at the bottom. And this gameplay looks exactly like Game Dev Simulator. And another different text at the bottom. I mean, he needs to grab one style and stick to it for the most part. You know, there's exceptions that can be made in some cases, but and now you have all this text being thrown away apparently, you know. Yeah, I got make a plan from that one. 90 something deep dive something dynamic something and something and then a splash of, you know, paint that just like blinded me. Yeah, and the call to action is decent, but the background behind it isn't good and doesn't fit the game in any way. So, what do you think about these trailers? Hard to view. I think you might be giving them too much credit. Yeah, I'm thinking F plus. Yeah, I mean, there's something. It convinces me that I need to learn 50 different ways to do font for a trailer, and then only use one of them. Mhm. Well, not the first one and the second one. I think the third one's original, fourth, fifth. I think only the first two are from the trailer. Yeah, there's, you know, I think the main issues with these screenshots, besides the first two that are repeats from the trailer, is actually issues with the game, you know, because if you look at screenshots 3 through, you know, 7 kind of thing, they're all just generic offices kind of thing. And even the UI in the game does not match because if you look at like screenshot number 7, you see on the side where you have the year, February week, year one, week one, week four, rather. You see those have like hexagonal boxes kind of thing. And then if you looked at the UI at the top where it says no project kind of thing, that has smooth edges on it, and it's like a gradient kind of thing. And then if you look at the little orange boxes and the blue boxes on those, they're hexagons, which could fit with the you know ones over there, but the one with the smooth does not. And then over on the side of that, you have the news breaking kind of thing that's in a square box, and it doesn't fit match either. And you have the other thing in the square box, you know. So he's using square, square, smooth rectangle, hexagon, and you know, or angled. We'll just call it angled. Yeah, they're all the hexes too. So I think he should match everything to hexes. You know, change that background that says no project. Change that to not be, you know, round and rather, you know, have the angles kind of thing, and add angles to the breaking news and the beginner's task list. Hmm. But they're bleeding. They're bleeding through to the screenshots. It's not going to affect our grade, but it is going to affect his sales and his marketing. And this is something he definitely needs to fix, kind of thing. It will have no impact on our grade, but it will definitely impact his sales. I think I would give it a regular B, a whole B. But like if you look at screenshot number 8, there's just way too much information on there, and that is a no-no for game design, game development as a whole. You don't want to give players this much information to be distracted by at a time. You want to bring these up maybe one or two at a time, kind of thing. Yeah, like a tab system. Yeah, and I think like he could probably fit maybe two of these on each tab kind of thing. So only like three tabs kind of thing. But like three tabs rather and show this information in three different tabs rather than one open thing. Now if you look at the ninth screenshot, this is a lot better. There's still too much information here, but it's not a complete overload like the last one was. I would definitely try to reduce the amount of information on here, but this is much better than the other one. Yeah, and we said that he said that basically the difference between early access and, well, he didn't say this, but he basically implied this. He said this in some way that basically the difference between early access and just release is basically nothing other than people probably expect the game to get better on the other. Marketing wise, it's just pretty much the same. Steam wise, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the background. Yeah, the background of the banner doesn't work. Like I think this tech could possibly work, maybe, but this background behind the banner does not. A blurry back image of the screen does not work for background image. Yeah, yeah. Which may be a problem with the game. It may be a problem with this. It may not be. Like I don't know. Maybe this works for the game. I don't know, but yeah. And I would guess that it doesn't work for the game, but it could. But either way, this is a GIF needs these black bars cut off. Yeah, that reads weird. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it feels like it's just, I mean, and this could be very, very untrue, but it feels like just a copy of Game Dev Simulator with worse graphics and very much worse store page. Yeah, yeah. And again, with all the banners, they have the generic blurred background behind them. It needs far less text. Yeah. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that it stops it from being in the F range. I think it stops it from being F minus for sure. But I'm thinking F plus. Yeah. There's only one GIF. The banners I think subtract from it rather than add to it. And the structure is off. There's too much useless text on here. I know what I'm doing because I've played a game just like this kind of thing. At least I think just like this. I can only assume just like this because it feels exactly like Game Dev Simulator, which I really enjoyed that game. Um, then for the title card, did we? Yeah, we graded that. Hmm. I could fault him for using his name as a studio. I mean, having the same developer and publisher, no, absolutely not. That's fine. You know, but it needs to be a studio name. It doesn't need to be a personal name because a personal name says that this is a hobby project and not a business project. And a hobby project should never be sold, and that is a red flag out the yin yang that customer beware, do not buy this game. And it also is like one of those free sites that at least I think it's a free site. It had a little extra banner at the top telling you to check out, get your own website or something here, and it just feels. Mm, mm, yeah, if a YouTuber wants to contact you and show you, show your game off kind of thing, and he goes to Twitter and you don't accept messages, how is he supposed to do that? I mean, he could send you a public text, but a public tweet, but then that's unprofessional and looks bad on him. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're throwing it all out, but I think the trailer did that, the trailer and the thumbnail. But like, there's yeah, and it's Ryan Sanders on Twitter and Ryan Sanders on YouTube and whatnot, and also having a personal name here on top of not being good and not looking good for consumers kind of thing is very bad for people who want to troll you because they have your full name now. And yeah, it it's not good to have you want to have a studio name and you want to have account a Twitter account that's specifically for your studio. Maybe the Ryan Sanders Twitter account is just that. Maybe the YouTube account is also just that. But they need to be in a company name, not your personal name. Yeah, B minus B sounds uh, okay. It seems to be reconnecting. But yeah, I think the title card overall is maybe a B thing that matters. Yeah, the main thing that matters on the score is your thumbnail and trailer. Yeah, those two were, I think, the lowest. Were those the lowest grades? I think the trailer got an F plus, and I think the thumbnail got a F, regular F. Yeah, it's definitely not an F minus. I think this is. I'm leaning towards F plus for this overall. Yeah, I'm debating between the F and F plus. Mm-hmm. And the name does not work either. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I can tell you this that you need to change this release date because the game, if this is the way the game currently is, if you release in 2 weeks on approximately 2 weeks on June 3rd, that's when this game dies. Mm-hmm. And I have a question for him if he when he's watching this is how many wish lists do you have on this at the moment? If it's less than 1,000, you are in so much trouble. if you're thinking about releasing this in 2 weeks. If you have, I would say if you have less than 10,000 wish list on this right now, there's no doubt that this game is dead. Not saying that you have to have 10,000, but looking at everything that's here, if you don't have 10,000, this game is dead on June 3rd if you release it there on June 3rd. And yeah, well they've been pretty loud recently because they're almost ready to leave early access. hmm And this is also one of the games. This is also one of the games that was on our great games that failed show. Yeah. hmm hmm We have triangleception here because you have the characters on either side that are drawing your attention. They're both pointing at the title. You have the title that's very, very clear in the center. You have the cards down at the bottom that are pointing towards the title and towards the other characters. So you have a triangle between the characters and the cards. You have a triangle between the characters and the title. You have a triangle between the title and the cards and one character, and you have the other character as a different triangle, and you have like so many triangles that are all leading your eye, and it's such a good design. And another thing that's sad is when you're talking about color theory, blue and orange are counter to each other, and very much a thing in art that really makes I forget what the yeah, it's a very good color combination. Yeah, but I think that's more personal preference because I personally like it. So I think everybody has different taste, and I don't think we can grade based off of personal taste. I know that my personal taste, I like it. What about your personal taste? So even if we were to grade both of our, off of personal taste, we're biased towards this art style. So I would say this is an easy A plus. Yeah, not only is nothing wrong, but everything is right. It's not even no. This thing didn't offend anybody, but this also didn't do anything special. This is arguably a perfect thumbnail. Yeah, and it's on that side that you're reading from, so it's even more likely to draw your eye. So yeah, I mean, this is really just an amazing thumbnail. They did an amazing job here. Big props. Yeah, my trailer's starting at the end. Oh, come on, trailer. Yeah, a little comedy, and with the expression on the slime, and yep, and there's sound effects in here, and it's slowly it's you going back slow, and then it's telling us what we're doing and explaining the game, and then it's slowly building up over time. Things are starting to pop off as you go off, and it's this ramp acceleration curve of the way that things are getting more exciting, and then the climax. Yeah. The a nitpick could be that the all the platforms that it's on a lot of platforms, but all those could be a little bit bigger. But yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I think it's a A. I don't know if I would put a plus behind it. It is so close. It is right there on that line. I would say it's at least A and half a plus. Hmm. Yeah. I would say if you round it, it's A plus. But if you don't round it, it's a A and a half a plus. Yeah, I mean, like the trailer felt a lot shorter than it was, and it was a short trailer too. Yeah, because I think it's a good art style, and it's a question on is it to the personal taste? Because just because you got a good aesthetic doesn't mean that it appeals to everybody. But I think there's a good aesthetic here. What did you give the trailer for a grade? A. A. It's so borderline to an A plus. Yeah, none of these, all these are original. Although the sixth screenshot looks very similar to one that was in the trailer, but it makes sense that this would be a separate screenshot because this is a important part of the game, and all of these, look a lot very similar. But like the characters on the other side and all that, and he has this defense thing, and I don't think he had anything in the trailer. So it's clearly a different kind of thing. And I think even the background might be slightly different, but it does kind of read as the same, but it is an important bit of information that I think that they're rightfully to include there. I really like the fifth one though. That's the one I picked as a screenshot, but I did zoom in on it to where it did cut out a lot of the background. I think that's part of where the game kind of lacks and in its aesthetic is the background. The background's all just blurry all the time. Yeah, and I think that we could have used a little bit more detail back there. Not a lot, but a little bit. But I don't, that's the issue with the game and not with these screenshots. Yeah, I see these screenshots as an A plus easily. Yep, which is a good call there. Yeah, custom banners, custom text in those banners. Yeah, the GIFs are really good, or GIFs. And when you get down to the fiendishly tactical GIF, that is by far the most amazing GIF we have ever seen on this show. That is a spectacular GIF right there. That is, yeah, that's beyond A plus. That is S tier. That is S triple S GIF right there. That is, yeah, that is an amazing GIF right there. Yeah, but honestly, I don't think it needs it. I mean, maybe it could use it, but does it need it? I don't think so. Yeah, I think this is an easy A plus, A plus plus, because that GIF is just so good. It's I I'm not biased on this pony. This is a S plus GIF. I mean, they've gone, or maybe we just call S beyond A plus. So like I would rate this as an S about this game page rather than A plus plus. We'll go S. Hmm. Yeah, and if you can get it, a gift like this would be amazing. Yeah, they've only got two genres here. Mm, tell that to Itch and many others. Are those in the potential list for this? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. And usually it's Steam not wanting to help you, but this is not letting Steam help you. They have a website which looks super professional and amazing. They have a Twitter and a YouTube channel. Well, the YouTube's for their publisher. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kind of, yeah. And now Steam doesn't want to show the game because it hasn't done very well. I would agree with that. I would go C minus. Well, I think I have to go C because they have everything right except for the title and the stuff they link to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is definitely. I think this is our record right here. The best tour page we've ever looked at because again, the trailer and the thumbnail is where the bulk of our grade's going to be. Yeah, that is the best about this game page we've ever seen, hands down. Hmm. And the screenshots are super solid too. The only thing that is not super solid is the title card, but it's the thing that matters the least. Yeah, yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Thing is, though, to be consistent with our past reviews, because there has been many games in the past that we've given high scores, higher decent scores, that we have not deemed them for not having, for only having these two kind of tags. I'm gonna say A plus, but in reality, I think it's more of an A because you're not letting Steam find you because of that. But that said, is there was many games that we gave grades for that would have lower grades now because they also did not do that well. Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I mean the highest we've had before this was an A minus, and we only had one of those. But I'm gonna go with an A plus to not because I think that it doesn't need to be penalized for that, but because of consistency. Because we didn't penalize other games for that. So for consistency's sake, I'm going to say it's an A plus. But I think that it's definitely not good that it does not have more tags. Mm, yeah, no, you can go Rise of TH and find it. Yeah, Rise of T. T and Slime. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I know gameplay wise, both me and Josh played this, and we both really enjoyed it. But you know, they have a publisher. They clearly did everything on their Steam page basically right, except for the genres. Hmm. Yeah, when we look at the publisher, they did Mortal Shell, Rise of Slime, They apparently have some Doctor Who game. Super Dodgeball Beats, Dick Wild 1 and 2. I mean, are you familiar with any of these games? How was the marketing campaign on that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But still, only two tags. Yeah, that's yeah, and only two tags. This is this is looking like the publisher set up the entire store page and did not put up but two tags on both of them. That makes sense. And outside of the tags, yeah, yeah. And when you click on them, you look at their followers. They only have 65 followers on Steam as a publisher. They have like 8,000 something on Twitter, 4,000 something on YouTube, but for a publisher, that is ridiculously low. Uh, maybe, but they 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 seem like they don't know enough marketing wise. I mean, they know how to do a really good store page outside of tags, but they don't seem to know anything else. And this is a point that we talked about before about, getting a publisher does not mean that you're going to succeed or in any kind of way. As a matter of fact, getting a publisher can screw you over. Now, I don't think that this publisher necessarily screwed him over, but I think a different publisher could have done better. Because I think a less good store page and better tags and better marketing, the game would have done a lot better. Because with your stereotypical publisher, they would have made sure that the trailer and the thumbnail was on point, and they would have put screenshots that are different, and everything else they would have said the heck with, but they would have put some tags in there, and they would have I think the game would have performed way better that way. Yeah, or what's showed to them does not appeal to them because it's not shown to them properly. Yeah, yeah, very bipolar today. Yep, join both of our discords and everything. And also, here's a closing statement: is marketing is very important for your game, and the store page and everything on the store page is arguably the most important part of that. Now then, you need to make sure that you have your store page on point. And I think what we need to start doing is, I know a few people have, pushed interest, shown interest of having a second review of their game done, and maybe we need to start letting them do that at a lower priority. So if we have somebody who hasn't submitted yet, they would take priority over somebody submitting for a second time. And so if you guys want to submit a second time, go ahead. But make sure that you try to address as many things as possible, because it's very unlikely that we'll allow a third submission. Yep, and each of our channels have different content, so tune into both of them and check out that different content. See ya.